microphone, make sure we're live. Sometimes it has a lag, so I'm just going to ensure.
Yeah, technology is what it is.
Yes. Oh, we're good. Hi, are we live? Cynthia, we are live. Welcome. Happy Tremendous Tuesday.
Yes.
Oh, I am here with the beautiful and vibrant Cynthia Barnes, and we are about to get it on and popping with a poppin' potent conversation on diversity and inclusion and how it impacts the sales culture.
Yes.
So, Cynthia, without further ado, can you briefly introduce yourself?
I am Cynthia Barnes, founder and CEO of the National Association of Women Sales Professionals. I'm also a keynote speaker, and you may have seen me either on LinkedIn as a top voice or as the first Black woman to keynote a national sales conference. I have 2 books. I'm a Salesforce influencer, 3 years running, and Gartner Peer ambassador, and also star of the show on Salesforce Plus, Beyond the Quota. I'm thrilled to be here and can't wait for our conversation.
Oh, thank you. I am a former Salesforce user. I love and hate Salesforce. I also use what is it, Sales Hub. But if you guys are here with us live or even on the replay, just get in chat right now. Shower this room with some celebration, some gratitude, maybe even introduce yourself. I want to make this as interactive and powerful for all of us. So if you're here with us live, just get in chat, #live, where you're tuning in from. And Cynthia's going to even open up for a Q&A at the end.
Yes. Yes.
So welcome. And Cynthia, can you just share a little bit more about, well, one, congratulations for all your accomplishments, everything you're doing. I love exactly what you're doing, hence why I came after you and wanted to be here. But can you just quickly diagnose what's happening in corporate America and why women are feeling pushed over, unseen? Can you just share a little bit about that, educate us, and what's really happening?
Without starting at the beginning of the sales industry, history wise, back when the selling of women's bodies was the first sale. Fast forward to 1978 ish, when there was a series of studies about women in sales. Since 1978, there has only been a 3% increase in the number of women in B2B sales. So even all this talk about we need more women in sales, women sell better, which is what we believe, there hasn't been more women in sales. So that begs the question, why? We could say things like women don't like selling. Okay, let's change the industry to make it more accommodating, welcoming, and create a culture of belonging for women in sales. We could talk about how companies aren't set up to create an environment where women in sales thrive. I say yes, and all of the above. What it boils down to is a system that was not designed for us to thrive. And I know that's harsh. I know it's harsh, but I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Sales approaches were created by men for men at a time when men made up the sales force. There is no doubt. That being said, there is statistical data that says we sell better, like 11% better.
Yeah. I agree. Just
And if
saying.
any, and that's not just Cynthia Barnes talking, that is data, statistical data from people who know a lot more about sales and sales approaches than I do. And if you want the data, I can send it over to you. But that is an empirical fact. So why aren't there more women in sales? Why don't companies looking at the data say, we want more women in sales? And why is it that those companies that say we want more women in sales, why don't they do anything about it? Because truth be told, and I stand on this, in 2024, if your sales team all looks the same, it's intentional and it's by design because there's no excuse.
Facts. Okay. And y'all tune in. I see you with your rapid fingers. Hi, Whit. Hi, Layla. Hi, Claudia. Everyone's here. Hi. And I really appreciate your rawness here, Claudia, because like that's what's happening. And as a former sales rep in the corporate technology space, I was the only woman in an all white male team of 45. And we didn't have any people of color. That didn't happen. We had nobody that spoke a different language other than English. And again, it's okay to realize this is a pattern. But what you're doing, Cynthia, is we have to be intentional in being
We
diverse.
do. We do.
And I'm just wondering, and if women are better at sales, and you talked a little bit about sales culture, it's really built by men, for men, and it's kind of infiltrating in other areas of business too. Would you agree? Like the corporations are kind of setting the tone for these masculine paradigms, but like any woman owning her own business, I have found she adopts kind of like these male dominated sales practices and she doesn't feel good in them. Like, how can we get away from that? Like, what's your suggestion there?
First of all, it's awareness. You've got to say, you know what, this doesn't feel right, and that is okay. Instead of saying it doesn't feel right and I have to do it anyway. No, you don't. But because a lot of women do not know there are options out there, they say, well, I've got to adapt. It's like they say, when in Rome, do as Romans do. Yes, and there are options. This is an and economy, not an or economy. Traditional sales approaches are fantastic. I reached the top 1% with them, and so did a lot of my female colleagues.
Yeah.
My hypothesis, though, when I started NAWSP back in 2016, was how much faster could women in sales reach the top 1% if we had strategies that address the unique challenges we have while amplifying our innate strengths?
Ah.
So we set on a mission to prove that hypothesis. And guess what? When women belong in a safe environment where they can show up as their authentic selves, everyone's happier. When women are given access to professional development and training that gives them guidelines on how to do things rather than a script, and you have to say it and do it this way, women thrive. They stick and they stay. When women have access to professional development programs and career paths to leadership, they stick and stay. When we don't have those things, we bounce. And unfortunately, we bounce from sales because we say sales isn't for us. Sales is for you.
Mm-hmm.
We have to find a place, a company where we're celebrated, not tolerated.
Right. Celebrated, not tolerated. And y'all put some fire emojis in the comments because my bones just chilled hearing that. And Cynthia, I'd like to push further into this, right? In the authenticity and professional training space. And that's a lot of what I guide students through is like, how do we unlearn all the scripts? How do we unlearn all the templates? How do we unlearn all these processes? And like, how do you want to sell? How do you want to sound when you're selling?
Yes.
And most women don't want to feel salesy. They want to feel in service.
Yes.
They want to feel like they're providing a solution that'll impact their client in perpetuity for a lifetime.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, what if that isn't an option where we're at? Like whether we're at an organization where it's not an option and or maybe we work for ourselves. Like what options do we have to unlearn, to relearn these things that you're talking about?
First point, we do have options. We're not stuck. And if someone is working in an environment where they do not feel that they can bring their authentic best self to work, then we need to have a conversation so that I can introduce you to companies where you can be yourself. First and foremost. So there's no excuse for being stuck or feeling stuck in an environment. Yes, we have bills to pay. The mortgage has got to be paid. We want to keep our car. And we have options. Never forget that. Ever, 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 ever. You've got options.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. The second point is ask yourself why you feel like you can't show up as your authentic self. Has someone told you that? And if they've told you that, have you questioned why? Because if your boss gives you a script and says, here, do this, and you deviate from that and they say you're doing it wrong, my first question is, what makes you say that different is wrong?
Mm.
Why do you say that different is wrong? If we are going to educate and coach sellers to the best of our abilities, then as coaches, we say, here's the end result. As long as you do it legally, morally, and ethically, I don't care how you get there. The problem is most managers don't know how to coach. Most managers are in the position because they were a top rep. They haven't taken any coaching classes. They don't know how to coach. They know how to manage, which is different than leadership.
Oh,
Sometimes, as employees, individual contributors, we have to manage up. We've got to teach our leaders how to manage us because no one has taken, most people have not taken a course on how to manage or lead women in sales. Have them call me.
tagline, have them call me.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm getting so much from this. And okay, Boston's here. Claudia's commenting. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
Claudia.
Hi. Oh, okay. And I just want to briefly like qualify. And everyone knows I come from a really big corporate background. And I too made it to the top. I made it to the top producer, multiple promotions, multiple presidents clubs, and all these fancy trips. But like you're saying, I didn't feel good doing it. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel real. It felt scripted and gross. And what was insane was when I went to my manager about this, I was like, I feel like this doesn't support me being me and I'm losing myself. This is for me, y'all. This is a female only group. My manager can never see this, former manager. He said to me, being yourself doesn't pay the bills. And I was like, oh, come on, like what? Yes. And I'm sharing that because I was in my mid 20s, right? Like I went right from college, right to the corporate sector. And I felt my organization was missing that delicate training, that delicate touch. So I started, do you know what they did with me? They were like, well, how about you be the trainer and a sales rep? So I started training, started doing exactly what I do in my coaching business today, but I wasn't compensated for it. I didn't even know I could be compensated for it. So let's go there. I didn't have any female leaders I could turn to, and I didn't really even feel comfortable. So, anyway, I'm sharing all this with if anyone identifies with all of this and maybe has had an experience like this, I want to ensure that if we're coming into the coaching space, right, like Cynthia and I have done, like we're really intentional. Mm-hmm. In how we're teaching these things, right? Because just learning sales, just learning strategy is one thing, and that can get you to the top ranks. But if you're going to lose yourself in the process, that's really integrity driven and conducive to the collective, right?
And you know what happens? We are so conditioned to, as women, to do it like the majority says to do it. Yeah, we lose ourselves. And society is okay with that. They want us to conform because when you conform, you are controllable. Hello? Let's think about slavery. They taught slaves that they had no history. They taught slaves that your ancestors, they didn't teach anything about building pyramids and creating math and all of those things because they wanted them to think less of themselves. When you think less of yourselves, in modern days, we have the imposter syndrome, we have the inner critic. We are controllable and we are subject to whatever someone tells us. We're waiting for someone to pat us on the head and say, you're okay, Tink Tink. What if we knew without a shadow of a doubt our greatness? Nobody would be able to say anything to us to the contrary because you would stand up and you say, you know what? I am better. I am good. I am enough without even trying. I woke up like this. You catch up to me. Yeah. But there's an old saying, A managers hire A employees. B managers hire C employees because they are intimidated and they are afraid of being lost in your light. I need everyone here to realize your greatness was there before you got out of bed. If those around you can't see it, that's not on you to dim your light so they can shine. You need to shine brighter because of all of the God-given gifts that you were born with.
Order up. Yes. Boston is like a hell. Yes. Yes. Hi, Cheryl. I see you coming in. Yeah, everyone put some fire emojis in the chat right now because I want this to land.
So, Tiffany, it's easy for me to stand here and say these things. I've done years of work and therapy on owning my greatness. And even I need someone sometimes to pour into me. So, the first thing I want everyone on here to do is to find your tribe. Find those people who are not yes people, but they believe in your genuine greatness and they can remind you of your greatness. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that because when you are full and people pour into you, you are in a position now to pour into others. Second thing I want you to do is I want you to create a list of your core values. Because when someone says to you, to be authentic doesn't make money, which is complete and utter nonsense, I want you to immediately say, yes, you may think I have no right to say that. And yes, and I'm going to go back to my core values that I know in my intrinsic value. And I created my core values based upon who I want to be combined with the strengths God gave me. You want to hear them? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So my first core value is and one. They always talk about in basketball, you get the foul and a shot. It's and one. I would strive to be 1% better every day.
I love that.
No matter what that is. Number two, representation matters. Leave a legacy. There are people behind you watching. So as you aspire to rise up, you've got to reach back. Number three, think 5 steps ahead. Be very strategic in your approach.
Yeah.
Do not think or limit yourself to think about, okay, what's this going to happen in what's the ramification 30, 60, 90 days? Think 7 generations down the line. How is my decision going to impact 7 generations from now? Number 4, think fast and slow. Be deliberate and thoughtful.
I like that. Go on.
Number 5, own your role. Take responsibility for the good, the bad, and the ugly in your life.
Thanks.
Own your role. Number 6, take the HOV lane. Honesty, openness, and vulnerability.
Oh,
yes.
Like somebody
the next one
down.
What's that?
Can somebody write these down in the chat?
The next one is the bee mentality. Statistically speaking, bees cannot fly, yet they do anyway. So I want you to always think of it's possible. It's possible. The next one is have a servant's heart. A closed fist cannot receive. So please share your greatness. Think of the parable of the talents. You were born with so much greatness. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't share it, it's gone. And the last one, leave it all out on the field. Please do not leave this earth with your greatness untapped, hidden, because others say you can't. Your response is, hold my drink and let me show you how it's done.
Oh, hold my beer, buddy. I'm in. Y'all, please write those down or which core value Cynthia just shared. Those values are potent. And I just want you to know, if you can't see the chat, definitely chime in after. These ladies are taking it all off. They're throwing
good
emojis. We got B emojis. Write down which core value spoke to you. And if it's okay, because we're coming up almost on our time
already.
I know see what happens when we have fun.
Right.
I just want to leave some space for Q&A, but I just want to share what really like made me shiver.
Okay.
And it was number 5 when you said own your role.
Yeah.
And I think this is really hard for me personally, and coming from that big corporate background, that big financial success, company car, this, all the things that, like, I was so good at victim mentality for many, many years that I couldn't even see I was responsible for my own reality.
Yes.
And I want to be clear here, y'all. Like, I left corporate intentionally because, like Cynthia said, I believe this was God's gift given to me, and I was being selfish, not sharing it. You know, I was a sales mentor and I loved that, and they wouldn't pay me for it. So then I was like, well, I'll just keep selling. But like deep down, I felt my God calling, like that God shot was like, boo, you need to do this.
Yes.
I did it. And just to echo your message, like, doing what you love and optimizing your gifts, your servant mentality is where success happens. And if we feel the pressure or like chained up to these old paradigms, like, we have to have that conversation and like, what role do I play here? Like, am I even of service in this corporation? Am I even in service in this role? Because sometimes it's not the corporation, it's the role. Sometimes it's not the role, it's the corporation. So anyway, long-winded me saying, like, that spoke to me. Like, I wish someone taught me in my 20s when I was climbing the corporate ladder to own my role in all of it. So thank you for that.
Yes. Yes. You are welcome.
And yeah, I just want to open up for Q&A if you're okay with that. Was there anything
Absolutely.
else you had to share?
Own your role also applies to disagreements with your significant other. We can't blame everybody for everything. So the first question you ask is, what was my role?
Yeah.
I got into an argument with so and so. Okay, I'm mad, but what was my role? When we take responsibility for everything, meaning our reaction to everything, things start to change. Well, I can't eat healthy because my husband likes chips and salsa every night. Yes, your husband eats chips and salsa every night. And have you ever thought of saying no?
No. Oh, don't you know?
Right. And it's Taco Tuesday? Sure.
Like, don't you know? I'll get healthy tomorrow.
Right, tomorrow. No.
But this has got me. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. So Boston has a question from the book, coming from Boston. My question to Cynthia is this: what's your favorite confidence boosting self practice? Ooh la la. I like that. Yeah.
There are so many, and it depends on the day. My favorite of all time is before sales calls, back when I was in corporate America, before speeches, before things like this. I stand, whether it's in a bathroom stall, and I don't care who hears me, but I stand with my feet apart and my hands on my hips. And I say for 2 minutes, it seems like forever, but I say, I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. People love me. I'm the world's best speaker, or I'm the world's best salesperson, or I'm this, or I'm that. Or I fill myself with affirmation. The positive self-talk. Standing with your legs apart, your feet apart, and your hands on your hips is a power pose that Amy Cuddy says will infuse you with so much positive energy. You exude energy, you radiate. People are attracted to that radiation, they can feel it. So even if you do not feel like the world's best, whatever, you fake it till you become it. It's intentionality. I can walk in here and say, you know what? I'm not feeling this today. I show up anyway. I put on my lipstick. I play a great song. I do my affirmations. Because remember, it's not about me. It's about serving you. Number 7, servant's heart. When we take the onus off of ourselves and dive into and unpack the purpose of what we're about to do, we're out here to change lives, because anything less and you shouldn't be on this earth. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us.
I feel like I'm on a football field. Like, give me the ball. I want to. Okay. Thank you for that. And yeah, I totally forgot that. Thank you for that reminder. And standing in the mirror too, this helps me when I'm feeling that lack of confidence before a public speaking event, or even here, like this is hard too, y'all. Just that I love myself. I break chains of perfectionism. I'm
Yes.
I am. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yes.
And just the faking that smile, it's like, oh, gets you right into that servant.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for that. That was good. And I see one more. Does anyone else have questions? Claudia, I see yours. The chat's coming in so quickly, but our next question would be from Claudia. Do you have a podcast?
Funny you should ask. I did have one, and I'm restarting one next month. Thank you for asking.
Yes. So in the birth creation, and okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about women selling better. I want to talk about how companies can attract, hire, develop, and retain women in sales. And I need a name. I was just going to be like Mel Robbins and say the Cynthia Barnes podcast, but yeah, it's there, and I welcome any creativity y'all want to share with me in the chat.
Yeah, y'all. And everyone wants you to share that podcast when you can. And yeah, Cynthia's going to come in here and chat and answer any questions from play. She's going to even share her book. She's going to offer a free session, or not a free session, a free one-on-one call to discuss options. She's going to come in here. But yeah, what kind of names of a podcast would you folks like to see? Like, I liked the woman selling better. That spoke to me when you said that. And that felt really good. Because for me, better isn't more sales. It means like ease, flow. It's right. It's intentional. It's with the right people. Because if I have to sell you to do my thing, you're probably not the right person for me.
Not at all. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
We get all these one-liners. Can you just get a book of one-liners, please?
You know what? I thought about that. And may I leave your audience with a challenge?
Please, yes.
I learned this weekend, and it has been life-changing. Unless we have a question, because I want to get to questions.
Everyone just wants to know where your book is in your podcast. But
okay cool. Ghanaian women from Ghana, and I may have butchered that name. Let me back up. As women, we tend to downplay when we receive a compliment. You say, oh, I just got this thing from Target. It was on the clearance rack. It was $5 and it's 5 years old. We do that, don't we? Women from Ghana, right? Women from Ghana receive compliments. And not only do they say thank you, it's quick, it's thank you. And they follow it up with, and it's true. So if you, right. So you pay me a compliment, Cynthia, I love your necklace. It's gorgeous. Thank you. It's true.
Can someone write that in the chat?
Imagine if as women, we responded to compliments with, thank you. It's true. I love your hair today. It's gorgeous. Thank you. It's true. What the heck? I mean, is that not just like
everything I've learned goes out the window? That's it.
Right?
Yes.
That's the confidence I want all of you to have. I want you today, when the next time someone pays you a compliment, whether it's your hair or whether you write excellent emails or whatever compliment it is, better yet, I want you to take this story and teach someone it. I want you to do it, and I want you to teach it. Let's pay it forward. Let's start a movement. Thank you. It's true.
Can someone please write this in the chat, because I am in Zoom. Challenge is when you receive a compliment, when you receive a gentle act of kindness, the challenge is thank you. And it's true.
Yes.
Second part of the challenge is to spread this medicine.
Yes.
Share this one shift with a stranger, with a girlfriend tonight, maybe even with your husbands or whoever, your next sales call. Let them know.
Thank you. It's true.
Cynthia, you're incredible.
Thank you. It's true.
Oh,
That
yeah,
feels so good.
this is
Tiffany, you are amazing and the best podcast host I have ever encountered.
thank you. And it's true.
Doesn't that feel good?
Wait. Can I do that thing? And this audience is the best audience we've ever had on this.
Man. Thank you. It's true.
I'm waiting. Waiting. Best audience.
The absolute best, most engaging audience.
Yes. Yes. Oh, this was such medicine and inspiring empowerment. I feel so excited for like every sales call for the rest of the week. I will tell you, I was feeling a little like down and out. Now I'm like, I'm ready, sales calls. Let's go. If you're on this
Give me the
show,
ball.
what is it?
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Like,
yeah,
be a hockey player, but it's cool. But I got the and one.
And one. And one. And one. Yeah.
And one. Y'all, before we sign off, just please give Cynthia some love. Let her know how grateful you are for investing her time with us today. She is incredible, as many of you have seen. She's going to come in, share her podcast, share her book, share some freebies with us all. But please just give her some love, some gratitude, and appreciation for her being here. And is there anything you want to leave us with before we sign off?
Please connect with me. When I come into the group, I'd like to meet you. When I offer my complimentary express coaching session, please take me up on that offer. Please take me up on that offer. I'll share lots of freebies and discounts and all kinds of things. Take what you love, leave the rest, share what you want. Let me help you because I'm here to do so. I thank you for your time. Tiffany, I thank you for having me. I love everyone's energy. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you for being you. You are amazing, and I'm grateful to be here. So thank you.
Thank you. It is shared. All right, y'all, be on the lookout. Cynthia's coming in with some heat. We're going to end our session. So many thank yous in here. Yep. Thank you, Whitney. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Boston.
Thank you, Boston. Thank you, Claudia.
We'll see you guys soon.